Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Tannah's Arc. Today we're going to be talking about being locked in with God. The scripture that I plan on using for today is Joshua 1:9. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9. And I'm going to read that one to you. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee, with ever so thou goest. Yeah. So, being locked in with God means you heard him, and not only did you hear him, you heard him right. You heard him correctly. Has he not commanded thee? God will provide the provision and protection needed to carry out his commands. So being filled with the courage or the confidence that you can do it. You can do it. You know, God knows the future. He saw you do it already. God knows you can do it. God knows you. God knows you can do it. And he chose you to do it. Wherever you go. Like Joshua, in the scripture, having to rally the men of valor from the children of Israel and cross the Jordan River to fight, right? God made a way and even created moments of said provision in order to instill continuous faith unto the future generations that didn't see with thine own eyes or waver in faith. So basically what I'm saying is that God made a way, and he even created, mementos. He even created mementos of that said provision for the future generation, just in case, because the Lord knew that there would be people who doubted. So he even had them collect those rocks. Excuse me. And while I was reading it, I was just like, wow, we always hear about Moses and the splitting of the Red Sea. We hear that a lot, but I feel like this story is just as moving. Like it explains the very same way that God moved with Moses, he moving with Joshua. And of course this is the same group as Joshua is the new leader, but it's showing the same amount of provision that the Lord showed. It literally, he dried up the Jordan so they can take mementos in order to prove to future generations what the Lord can do, what the Lord did. And that can only happen with Joshua being locked in with God. Haven't I commanded thee? Go and rally these men of valor, and for you all to fight. This is the fight, So, of course, there's a lot of people that'll probably be like, oh, how we going to, to fight? Oh, how we going to make it over? The Lord provided a way, okay? Just like David with Goliath. And I use, that's 1 Samuel 17:37. First Samuel, what was it? 17:37. Okay, so in 1 Samuel 17:37, it says, David said, moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of the Philistine. And Saul said unto David, go, and the Lord be with thee. So basically, David's saying the same thing. The Lord had provided for me in so many ways. He commanded me to be up against Goliath. Bet, let's do it. Let's do it. And he even did it knowing exactly how much God has shown protection in prior situations. He had the courage to step up. and do what was needed for his beloved nation of Israel. He exemplified being strong and courageous by the Lord's strength, even after being doubted by his eldest brother of his intentions. His eldest brother even said, you moving in, you know, I know your intentions. You're moving in pride and ego. At first he was saying, I know your intentions. You just came down here to look. You just came down here to see. And then after hearing what David had to say, he came again saying, well, you're just full of pride and ego. I already know your intentions. Why are you really here? Those two things from an eldest brother, someone who knows you, someone who lives with you, someone who knows your quirks, your ins, your outs, supposedly. You know, someone like that has the power to discourage you. They do, because they know you from the core. At least they think they know you. But then it's just like, but I know God. And I know what God pulled me through. I know what God put me through, pulled me through, led me through, provided for me through, and all these things. So it's just like, well, you know, let me show you. And of course, we all know how David and Goliath went. What that brother say? What did he say? The whole point is that he could have been discouraged, but in his head, those two things that you mentioned about me being prideful and all these things, and then I just want to sit back and watch, versus the Lord doing all these things, these multiple things for me. Weigh it yourself. And he went with the right choice. He went with the courage that God provided, the strength that God provided. The strength that God provided. Everyone else ran away, if you think about it, from that opposition, but David. And not only but David, David was the one anointed and encouraged to do just what he did. He was anointed to stand up and step up. This is from 1 Samuel 17:24, which is, and all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were sore afraid. God said, be not afraid. And David embodied just that. Literally, it says, haven't I commanded thee? Let's go back to it. Oh, I'm back in Samuel. Let us go to Joshua. Let us go to Joshua. Okay. Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Strong, courage. Be not afraid. Not afraid. Neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever so thou goest. And Joshua and David even said that through everything that I've been through, God delivered me from the paw of the lion. Wait a minute. I got this. God is with me. I got this. God said, be not afraid, and David embodied just that. Given that God is with us through all of our trials, being afraid, weak, and discouraged is a disservice to the strength that God provides out of his love and provision. You know, and that's something that I personally can definitely attest to. You know, that's something that I personally really do feel like I can learn and go further with and really take in and be strong with. But it's just the fact that the Lord already made his statement. And not even made a statement. He's reminding you that he made a statement. Haven't I commanded thee? That's for today. That's today's topic. Being locked in with God. You know, knowing what God did for you. Knowing that he will always be with you. Knowing that he's not going anywhere. Reminding yourself of the testimonies. Every step further. Every step that you take further. Reminding yourself of where you've been and what the Lord has done for you then. Just stay of good courage. You know, stay strong. Don't be afraid or dismayed, because God is with you wherever you go, because God is leading you. All right, guys, that's today's episode, Being Locked In with God. Make sure you guys leave your comments, your likes, your shares, you know, motivational comments. Leave all your support down below. Leave your, you know, your opinions. Leave your stories, your testimonies. Leave them all down below, you guys. And until the next upload, mwah.